There's obviously a lot of trouble in the consumer area, although not nearly as much as I think people expect. But your point about how a lot of the weakness, as you mentioned, has to do with investment and not necessarily some sort of secular decline in consumer spending.
I think Walmart didn't say anything's wrong with sales. Walmart said sales for this year won't be quite as good as we had originally said. But what they did say was that was all because of currency. And then they said, we think we're going to do 3% per year going forward. That's the best number they've said in a long time. That tells me they think they've got a healthy consumer, that they'll be able to put more money to the bottom line going forward by making all these changes and growing the top line. So Walmart's putting a really hard push on, and they believe it's going to result in higher sales. They wouldn't believe that if they thought there was something wrong with the U.S. consumer.
LeBron James is good at both offense and defense. And for JPMorgan this quarter, they didn't play offense too well, but defense is very strong. I mean, capital is higher, credit is higher. With all the issues out there, whether it's China, commodities, capital markets, credit is better. The balance sheet is more clean than in the past. Bank of America's results are similar to their quarterly results for the past few years. If you look at the core numbers and you strip out all the one-time items, it's pretty much where they've been. And in contrast to JPMorgan, and JPMorgan missed and Bank of America beat, and we're buyers of JPMorgan and sellers of Bank of America, but we don't see at Bank of America a plan B. They achieved the savings from their project called New BAC. What's next for Bank of America? You can't extrapolate the third quarter too far off in the future. It's seasonally weak for starters. We wouldn't build in higher interest rates too much. I mean, the industry's made a mistake. In fact, I think bank executives are a little confused about where interest rates are going, and the Federal Reserve's not even decided there. So at a minimum, it's seasonally weak in the third quarter. It's safe to assume you're not going to see a repeat of this.
No, I'm not going to point to anyone small. I think Netflix is there. I think Netflix has done an incredible job. Their subscriber uptake globally, domestically, their ability to raise rates, their ability to get viewership that now puts them on par with, I think, the ratings of the big broadcast networks in the United States. They've been a powerhouse. Everyone else is very small compared to them. But I think that, they're the leader in entertainment. Sports, I think, is different. I think Netflix will have a hard time getting into that. And there, I think ESPN is the next ESPN. And the NFL is, reigns supreme across broadcast. But, I think in the entertainment part of the TV ecosystem, you got some trouble. Les is clipping a $2 billion check. That's great. But in the meantime, there's a lot of questions among investors about the durability of the traditional TV network stocks, given their reliance on audiences that are increasingly watching Netflix when it comes time for entertainment.